In last week's Parsha, we spoke about the power of the mikveh. And in this week's Parsha, we're going to go a little bit further. The mikveh, which has the power to transform and purify, is especially important in Judaism. It is in fact so important that HaShem commanded us to purify ourselves. And the previous Parsha concluded that the children of Israel sanctified themselves. For I am HaShem your God, and you shall therefore sanctify yourselves, for I am holy. And this is brought down in Vayikra 11:44. In this week's Parsha, which is a double Parsha, opens with the laws of purification after birth. If a woman is conceived seed and given birth to a male, and this is brought down in Vayikra 12:12. The Baal HaTurim explains that the Torah juxtaposed the description of the woman who has conceived with the command to be holy in order to teach that one must sanctify oneself at the time of intimate relations. In Judaism, marital relations can be one of the holiest acts a person ever performs. Through marital relation, one becomes a partner in creation. Even when no physical children are conceived, the holy union between husband and wife causes souls to be brought down from Shemayim. These souls later enter the bodies of converts, as the Midrash explains when referring to the souls that they, meaning Avraham and Sarah, had made in Haran. And this is brought down in Bereshit Rabbah 84:4, quoting Bereshit 12:5. Now this week's Parsha is actually a double Parsha. Parshat Metzora, also, like the previous one, deals with spiritual purification relevant to the time between Pesach and Shavuot. Vayikra 15:19 brings down, if a woman has a discharge of blood, or blood flows from her body, she shall be nidah for 7 days. The Torah tells us that from the time that a woman has started her cycle until she immerses in the mikveh, she has the status of nidah. And the concept of nidah is related to the word nadad, meaning to wander, separate, or remove. And during this time, the woman separates herself from any physical contact with her husband. What is the underlying reason for this nidah? Why does a woman have to separate from her husband every month? The laws of nidah and menstruation are difficult to understand, and these laws actually fall under the category of hokim. And these are statutes whose ultimate reasons are beyond human comprehension. And we do them simply because HaShem commanded us to do it. Now this mitzvah is one of the mitzvot that actually drives people crazy in our modern times. Many people would have women believe that this is the Torah's attempt to once again shun and shame women. But in fact, this couldn't be farther from the truth. It is important to highlight that according to Jewish law, ritual impurity is not exclusively connected with menstruating women. And in fact, earlier in the Parsha, the Torah mentioned the laws dealing with the purification of a man who has a discharge. He needs to purify himself in a spring of water, since the mikveh does not qualify to purify such a strong impurity. Furthermore, upon purification, he must bring a sin offering as recognition for being healed from a sickness. And this is brought down in Vayikra 15:1 through 15. Rambam points out that this is not the case regarding women, since their menstruation is actually a natural occurrence and not a sickness. The definition of ritual impurity in the Torah is contact with death. When a woman is in her cycle, this is included in the category, since in fact it is the expulsion of potential life. But on a pragmatic level, the laws of nidah have a very beneficial effect on a marriage. Physical separation compels a husband and wife to relate on a mental and spiritual level, and prevents them from merely smoothing out conflicts with a kiss. Actually, the monthly separation between husband and wife helps restore and intensify their original love. Each time the wife returns from the mikveh, the relationship is renewed, and it's just as if they're on another honeymoon once again. And Rabbeinu Bachya writes that since menstruation is the consequence of eating from the tree of knowledge, the capacity of purification through the cycle is a distinct human feature. Although uncomfortable, a woman's cycle is actually beneficial for a fetus. A woman's cycle cleanses the woman and expels any unnecessary substances accumulated during the month, together with the uterine lining. In this way, when a woman conceives, the fetus is formed by the purest and highest quality blood, preparing it to receive the divine influence, the light of the soul. This can be compared to steel which is polished from rust in order to reflect sunlight. It is interesting that a woman also bleeds after birth for approximately the same amount of time as the duration of the collective 9 menstruating months, which she had missed. All this teaches us that in Judaism, a menstruating woman is far from being considered someone who's sick or shameful. On the contrary, she is regarded as being in the process of cleansing in order to enter the holy sanctuary of marital relationships, which is the gateway to Gan Eden. You can follow this series, A Woman's Worth by Devorah Esther, on YouTube at Gimel Dalet 777. Click subscribe to be notified. If you've enjoyed this video or know someone who would, please share it. Siku lemitzvot.